All right, we're going to get started. So like I said, I'm Abby Walsh, and you're going to get the opportunity tonight to hear a little bit about what we do as coaches and hear stories from 3 of the wonderful women that I've got to know due to this opportunity. So tonight, we're just going to be really casual. If you have any questions at the end, feel free to either type them in the chat box, or you can unmute yourself, or I can unmute you at the end. And you can ask any questions you have. If you have questions when you get off this call, just talk to the person that invited you, and I'm sure they'd be glad to answer your questions. But let me first just say that I'm so excited for the opportunity for you all to maybe get to join this awesome fitness family that we have, and for me to get to know you better. So I'm Abby Walsh, and I started coaching about 2.5 years ago, and you'll get to hear my story a little bit more at the end. But I want you to know that I was just like each of you right now that maybe had no idea what coaching was about. And the one thing I'll tell you about my story now is that you're all a step ahead of me, because I actually never had anybody invite me to a call like this or hear about this opportunity. I signed up to be a coach off a whim by myself on the Beachbody website, not knowing anybody. And I've got to know thousands of wonderfully inspiring men and women who have made this amazing decision to not only get themselves in the best shape of their life, but help other people do it too. And the relationships that I've made in this business by far are my favorite thing that I've inherited into my life. So without further ado, we're going to go through, and 3 different coaches are going to get the opportunity to share their stories with you tonight. And then I'm going to kind of wrap up the call with my story and what coaching is and what it isn't, and any misconceptions that maybe you have of coaching. I'm going to try to bust tonight and have you have the opportunity to ask any questions that you have. So we're going to get started, and Melissa is going to be the first to share with us. I'm going to unmute Melissa, and we will.
All right. Hey guys. First of all, let me just go ahead and tell you all that I am a mom of 3. So if you hear any random noises during the call, screaming, yelling, anything like that, don't worry. It's probably just my kiddos. But I just wanted to let you guys know how awesome I think Beachbody is. I must admit that I was pretty skeptical beforehand. Abby is my sister-in-law, and I've known she's been doing it for a long time. But, you know, I just thought, well, Abby's the fitness guru. She owns her own gym. Like, of course she's going to be in shape and look great. So just to be perfectly honest, I just, you know, didn't think it would be something for me. You know, I'm just an average girl, and, you know, that's not going to work. So, you know, she's told me about it and Shakeology and all that, but it wasn't actually until I saw my in-laws who started using Abby's program, and I saw the difference in their lives, that I was like, hey, wait a minute, you know, they're older, you know, but they're looking really good. Like, I want to look like that. So I had just had my 3rd child when I started the program, probably like 2 months postpartum. And I was probably at my heaviest weight that I've ever been. During my pregnancy, wasn't really watching what I was eating, and I had stopped exercising. So I wasn't feeling really good about myself. So I kind of reached that point where I was like, okay, I need some kind of change. And that's when Abby sent me a text message, and she was like, I know we talked about this before. Are you ready to try Shakeology? And I was like, oh, okay, well, let me maybe order some, but I'm a real cheapskate. So I was like, how can I order this and get it the cheapest way possible? And I was like, maybe I'll sign up to be a coach, because that way I can, you know, get it really cheap. And Abby's like, okay, whatever. And so I ordered it, and I just fell in love with the shakes. And I decided that I really was going to work the program and stick to it. And we did. I mean, my husband did it with me. And we, you know, this has been 3 months ago that we started. And I've lost 24 pounds, and I'm only 2 pounds away from my goal weight. So I've just been really impressed with the program. I mean, if you do it, it works. I mean, it's just simple. So, and what I love about it is that, I've done diet programs before in the past, but this was different because it was actually teaching me a healthy way to live. Like, I've done Weight Watchers before, but you can still eat really bad and be on Weight Watchers as long as you're keeping to your points each day. So I wasn't really learning like the lifestyle tips to make myself healthier. So that's why I fell in love with Beachbody. It's because I'm actually learning how to be healthy. And that's not something that I really knew how to do. And what I love about being a coach, even though I didn't start off to sell it, now I find that it's really, really easy to sell because people around me are seeing the difference that it's making in my life. And they're like, hey, you look great. You seem like you have so much energy. What's going on with you? And then I get to tell them about Beachbody. So it's just been awesome. I mean, like I said, it sells itself. You work the program, you do it, and people want to know what's going on, how you're doing so much better. So, yeah, that's my story.
That's great. Thanks so much for sharing, Melissa.
Yeah.
So, one of the things I love so much about what Melissa said is, about just doing the program, it works. Like, that's the most important point I could probably get across to everybody on this call is that if you're considering coaching, you have to know that the vital behavior for success is doing the programs, working out, drinking Shakeology, and getting results that speak for themselves. No one has to be at their goal weight already. And, you just have to be a work in progress every day, showing people that this is real life, attainable, healthy eating, lifestyle changes that we promote, and that's how you can be successful at what you do. Melissa started this, like she said, just right out of the gates, signing up for the cheapest price possible. And now, she's falling in love with the idea of helping other people get healthy. And it's easy for her to find people because she's such a great example of the products herself. So thanks so much for sharing, Melissa. I love that. Amanda is going to share her story next for us. So I'll unmute you, Amanda.
All right. Thanks, Abby. Hi, everybody. So my name's Amanda, if you don't know me. I live in Philly. And I graduated from college a couple years ago. And I was always like super, super athletic. I played sports in high school, elementary school. When I was in college, I was actually a fitness instructor. That's how I made my money on the side. I taught spin. And then I graduated and became a teacher. And, I don't know if we have any teachers in the group, but we work a lot. And I kind of let my health slide. So, I gained weight, wasn't eating right, like taking some spins through the drive-thru, wasn't feeling too great about myself. And that was just kind of, my first year of teaching. Over the summer after that year, my friend Katie, who's on this call, was posting on Facebook about this transformation that she had made in her own life, and talking about this Shakeology and like workouts and like flexing on Fridays. And I was like, I want to flex on Fridays, that's something I would like to do again. So I sent her a message and joined this group to try Shakeology. And what I noticed was in 1 week of drinking Shakeology and making no other changes in my life, I could drink the shake and be full until noon, which as a teacher, I totally needed. I could also come home from work and not be reaching for the carbs. I wasn't craving crackers and chips and ice cream as much, which was pretty exciting for me. And then the other thing was just for drinking Shakeology and making no other changes, I lost 2.5 pounds in a week. And I was like, whoa, there's something to this. And I was looking forward to those shakes every day. So I took it another step and I joined a 21-day fix challenge group. And that I think is when everything changed. I started working out every day. I started eating right with the portions. I was still drinking that shake that was magic. And I felt great. So I lost some weight, I lost some inches. I'll be super honest, I'm still on my journey. I still have some body weight that I'd like to lose. I still have muscle I want to build, and that's okay because I'm taking the steps that I need to take to get my body to a place that I'm going to feel really confident and proud of. The biggest thing for me, though, is the community I've built. I look at my screen right now, and I've got it so I can see everybody's face. And I see so many women that I've met through this program, women that I've reconnected with. And I can't tell you how special it is to have a community of people that I know are cheering for me no matter what. For example, I was going for a job interview and people were messaging me and being like, hey, good luck, good job. And these are like my fitness friends, And that is what coaching has done for me. It's giving me this community. So I ended up becoming a coach because, number one, the discount's awesome. But number two, I was just into this. I was excited and I wanted to share. I'm getting to help people now. I'm getting to help people make the change that I made to be happier. I'm making a little bit of extra income, which is great because, I'm getting to do things like go get a pedicure, which makes me happy. And I couldn't do that on my teacher salary. Like my savings account looks better than it has in a long time because I'm actually saving. And that's because of Beachbody. And then the biggest piece of coaching for me and having this business is that I finally have something that's completely my own. As a teacher, I'm not going to get into it, but I work in, not the most positive environment and it's not my own. And coaching gives me something that I control, it's supportive. I control the time. I make the decisions, and it is the most empowering thing for me. And it really has kind of saved me in a way. It's given me that mental space I need to be there for my students, be there for the relationships in my social and personal life, and to build new relationships with people. So I just feel that coaching has like saved me from myself in so many ways, if that makes sense. So I guess that's kind of my story.
I love it. Thanks so much for sharing, Amanda. And Amanda shared, like I said, my favorite point of coaching, which is the community of women that I'm surrounded with daily. Men are allowed to coach too if there's any guys on this call. Sorry, not excluding. But, it's just, we're not used to, as women, finding other women that encourage us, right? Most girls are not that encouraging, and it's so refreshing to be surrounded by women that have got your back, and there's other women on this call right now that are coaches that aren't speaking on this call, but they're supporting other women. That's what we do. So that is something that I absolutely love about this business. And what's really cool is that when you join coaching, you sign up under somebody as your mentor, but you get all these cool girls to hang out with all the time. And we do this a lot, these video chats, because we love to see each other and talk and just share in community. And it's absolutely amazing. So thanks so much for sharing, Amanda. And the last story is Courtney's story tonight. So I'm going to unmute you, Courtney, and go ahead and take it away.
Awesome. Well, my name is Courtney. My husband and I live in Nashville, Tennessee. And kind of the same as Melissa, I had always been really skeptical because, you see Beachbody everywhere. Well, my friends were posting about it and these shakes and, it just kind of like, that can't be. Like, I looked into it, but I was like, it's so expensive. It must be overpriced. Like, I work out, I go to the gym, like my husband's very active. So I'm like, I have the support I need. Like, I never would have thought that was anything I needed. And so, it's probably been like a year that I had friends that reached out for me with Beachbody, and I just kept saying like, no, I'm not ready. I don't, want to pay yet. And Abby was down last summer in Nashville for the summit, and we had met up, and she kind of talked to me a little bit, and I don't know, just something about like being in person and talking about it was a little motivating. So I think that was always in the back of my mind. And, seeing her post on Facebook, everything always looked kind of like, hey, I want to kind of feel like that and look like that. And I don't know, just be passionate about something. I think where I was in life, I was just kind of struggling. So for me, kind of what brought me to coaching is a little bit more, maybe not as much about my self-image, but a little bit more about what I was kind of going through. So my husband and I had moved to Nashville about 6 months ago. So last June, actually that's like almost 8 months ago. But kind of really quickly and unexpectedly, the Lord just provided opportunity. We decided to seek it and go for it. I'm a very type A type of person. I'm very disciplined. I like my structure. So while there was so much excitement about it, it was also really stressful for me and a lot of anxiety, getting a new job, all of those things that come with moving. And, we got here, the Lord gave me a job. I mean, it was very clear this is where we were supposed to be, but I still felt like I was struggling to find joy in where we were. We're in this awesome city with such great restaurants. So we're eating out all the time, grabbing drinks with friends and trying this place and this place. And I didn't have a routine. I wasn't working out. Like, it didn't work in my life in this move than it did where I was before. And so I just, kind of started to get to like a really low place. And just had a lot of insecurities that kept creeping up for me. My husband's an RD, so that means we live on a college campus. So I'm surrounded by community all the time, which is great. But, I just began comparing myself to everybody. I'm also a teacher. I started a new job at a new school with kids with special needs and learning disabilities. So it was extremely challenging for me, something I thought I was going to love. And I just was faced with a lot of challenges. So I felt really defeated. And so I just kept comparing myself like, oh, well, that person's happy because they have a job they love, or they get to stay home. I want to be like that person. They look so good and they eat whatever they want. And like, I just feel like I can't do that. And, that person gets to be with my husband all the time. They're really fun. I'm not that fun. I don't think I'm that funny. Just all these negative thoughts that kept creeping into my head. And I thought, I kept telling myself I knew I could get out of this, but I just kept feeling like I was going down and down and down. And one night I was reading a book in bed and just talking about, it was like, yeah, we all know that wife who nags on her husband and says negative things to him, like when you're out to dinner. And I just started to think like, oh my gosh, that's me. Like, my negative thoughts have started to truly come out in my words and actions and how I was living my life. And I just like totally broke down. And I, told my husband, I was like, I don't want to be this way. I don't want to be okay with like being that kind of person. And so anyways, just kind of in this time of like feeling like I was really ready to see what God had for me. And I feel like he just kept opening doors. And one of those was Abby was running a Shakeology week trial. And I just said to Phil, I was like, hey, I think I really want to do this. Like, I just want to make an investment. I want to try it just a month, see what it does for me. So, I set some goals and I started to feel like, I think I can do this. Like, I really do think I can make better choices and change who I am, because it's like, only I can do that. I can think all I want, but I have to actually take action to make those changes in my life. And so, then she got me into, hey, you should get the 21-day fix. Like, it'll come with for only $10. Like, yeah, it's awesome. Great. Next I know, I'm in this challenge group, and it just really was like a radical change for me. And I think, it was just exactly what I needed to start to feel confident in more than just my self-image. But yeah, I feel like I totally felt a transformation. Like, I couldn't believe how my body was changing in such a short time. And I think just with having the accountability and feeling uplifted and not alone in those feelings, having my health on track, getting the nutrition that I needed really just balanced my body. And I think it allowed me to see clear. So it's not that those things weren't there in my life. I was able to see them more clearly and more confidently. So for me, I feel like it was just this whole mindset change and transformation. And I was talking to a friend the other day, and she was like, yeah, it kind of seems like this outward transformation is really just like a reflection of your inward transformation. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly how I feel like. And it's just kind of amazing that when you have that confidence in you and you're making good choices, what it does for you and the way that you can love yourself through that transformation. So, I decided to do the coaching experience because I just had a really great experience myself. And I think there's 3 things that I've really enjoyed so far, and I'm really looking forward to continuing. And that is just passion, developing a passion for the programs and the support that really changes people. And I feel like just in a place where I was in my job, I wasn't feeling super passionate, even though I do love teaching. I think it's been great to experience something different that's, a different type of passion that I can live out and come home and really focus on this. And I don't have to think about that job, and it just gives me healthy boundaries. Relationships, I'm a really relational person. I love spending time with people and connecting with people. So this just gives me an avenue to meet new friends and connect with old friends. And then just confidence, just continuing to build my confidence in things like this and step outside of my comfort zone. It's just something I don't think I ever thought I could do. And so it feels really good to be doing it. And so that's my story.
Thanks so much for sharing, Courtney. I'm like sitting over here smiling ear to ear because I'm like a proud mama. And I have to share with you guys that, I do these calls all the time, and it's not often that I get to invite 3 different women who have all done this for less than like 6 months. I think Amanda hasn't even been doing this 6 months yet either. So, it is just phenomenal that, Courtney started in January, if you guys realize this. So, what this does for you is not just the physical transformation, but like Courtney shared, it's such an internal transformation that you weren't even expecting that happens when you start to get yourself healthy from the inside out. And that's a little bit of my story that I'm going to share with you guys today. And, what's really cool is the longer you do this, the more stories you get. So every time I'm on a call, I think I tell a different piece of my story, which is great. So tonight I didn't think I was going to share this part of my story. So my apologies if I cry, but I wasn't planning on sharing this part, and I'm going to. So here's the deal. I started coaching 2.5 years ago. And, I think Melissa said it. If you don't know me, I own a gym. I have my master's in nutrition, and I started into this whole thing as a fitness professional already. So I thought every time I saw people on my newsfeed doing Beachbody, I was like, oh, what are these fake fitness professionals doing, giving people all this fitness advice? Like, I do this stuff all the time. I don't need to be a Beachbody coach. Like, I already help people, right? And what I didn't realize was that Beachbody was going to help me, not me help other people. And then in turn, I was going to be able to help other people in different ways. So 2.5 years ago, I had a whole bunch of my clients asking me about different programs and products on the market. I won't name them because I'm not allowed, but think about all the different weight loss things you've ever heard about. And people were asking me questions about these. Like, Abby, are these bogus? Do these work? And I was like, hey guys, you can't pop any pills, and I'll look up the rest for you. So I went and I just started researching all different types of products. And it was really easy to throw most of them in the trash can. They all had like my top no-nos in them for things that people take. And then I got to Shakeology, and I was like, this is going to get a closer look, because the first 3 ingredients were not on my no-no list. Then I kept reading and reading and reading. And I was like, if this is half of what I'm reading, it's a pretty darn decent supplement. So I did more research, and I was like, I think I'd actually tell my clients they could take this. I think I'll order a bag for myself and see what I think of it. So I'm really, cheap. I like a deal when I can get a deal, and I like to spend money on the things I like to spend money on. So I looked, and I was reading all over the Beachbody website, what is the cheapest way for me to get this stuff? And I was like, oh, a coach. What's a coach? I remember I didn't like coaches, but that's cheap. So I'm going to do that and not tell anybody that I'm a Beachbody coach. So I signed up to be a coach for the discount. And I remember I was assigned to a coach because I did not sign up under a coach. And my coach called me and was like, hey, Abby, did you sign up to be a coach? Like, I got your name. Are you a coach? And I was like, yeah, but I'm never going to do anything with this. Sorry, girl. I already help people in a real way, and I'm not going to do the whole coaching thing. So, my coach didn't think I was going to do anything with this opportunity. And slowly, I became addicted. I became addicted to community. I became addicted to this shake that I was 7 months out from having my child, and I never felt like me again. I had lost the weight, but I didn't feel like me. I felt like a completely different person that I didn't like, and I was so imbalanced and unhappy. And not only did the emotional experiences of Beachbody bring me so much joy, but this shake truly was like leveling out my life. My husband was losing weight. I was happy. And I started to unpeel layers of this onion that I didn't know I had in my life. And, I knew a lot about food. I knew a lot about nutrition. I knew a lot about working out. And the 21 Day Fix program came out in February of 2014. And that's when coaching got a serious look from me, because they came out with a nutrition program that was not a quick fix. It was not a fake thing. It was not, let's eat cabbage and crackers for 3 weeks and see what happens. It was, let's learn real sustainable lifestyle nutrition that's going to bring people amazing results. And let me help even more people than I ever could have thought imaginable, because now I can reach outside the doors of my gym, but help women from all around the United States that need to learn about good food. And as I was doing that, as somebody who was in grad school at the time, getting my master's in nutrition, I realized I wasn't eating enough protein. I realized I wasn't eating enough vegetables. I realized I wasn't eating enough food in general. And through all of this, I started to peel back the layers of an onion of all the disordered thoughts I've ever had about eating in my life. And, some of you know this about me, but most of you probably don't. But when I was around 18 years old, I only ate green beans for 3 months. Literally, I ate green beans for every meal for 3 months. I was eating like 250 calories a day for 3 months. I looked awful. I felt awful. I was so obsessed about every calorie that went in my body, about every calorie I burned. And I got to a point where, I was so unhealthy and so messed up in my head about what was good and what was not for my body that I couldn't imagine ever getting to a point where I didn't think so much about food every time I ate it, about where I went, what the food was going to be like, about going to somebody's house and what were my options going to be, about making up excuses why I couldn't eat. I was at a place that I never, ever, ever understood, even outside of it, until Beachbody, when I started to see that I wasn't the only person that ever felt that way. And I started to find workouts that I loved and helping people deal with these feelings that they were feeling as well. And for the first time in my life, I stopped thinking about food. I stopped thinking about, if I could eat this or if I could eat that or how I could not eat this. But I started understanding how to fuel my body for energy, for results, and for truly a complete mindset shift where I knew that I could eat more food and lose more weight. We always hear as women, like, eat less, work out more. But really, the truth is, eat more, work out less, right? You only need to work out for like 30 minutes. We don't have to run on a treadmill for 3 hours. And we can eat way more food than you ever thought imaginable. And we can help other women see that too. And that's really the piece of the puzzle that is amazing for me, is to be able to blow those myths for other women who think that they can't eat more than 1,000 calories or think that they have to eat under 1,000 calories a day and run their butts off on a treadmill. But I can empower women to truly understand food. And guess what, guys? You don't need a master's in nutrition to do that. They did it for you at Beachbody. They figured out exactly what you need. And I can sit here and tell you that I do have my master's in nutrition, and I couldn't have written a better meal plan for anybody. It's an amazing meal plan. The products from Beachbody are top-notch, amazing, with, the best ingredients in the world. There's nothing that trumps Shakeology. And if there was, I would probably quit coaching, because I truly believe in offering the best thing for everybody. Not only has Beachbody brought me life and, total understanding of food, my body, and my mind, but it's also brought me finances that I couldn't have imagined. And that's something I wanted to share with you guys as well tonight, is that, I started this opportunity just wanting the discount. I moved on to really enjoying empowering women and thinking that it was just something I was going to do on the side. And then over time, I started weaning out more and more things out of my life because Beachbody was becoming more and more important to me. I was seeing the passion and the value that I had for it, and I was getting rid of other things. I actually had my bachelor's in dental hygiene, and I was working as a dental hygienist, and I just started taking those hours away one by one until now I don't do dental hygiene at all anymore, and Beachbody brings me more money than I ever could have made as a dental hygienist. You know, I at one point in time thought to myself, I can't do Beachbody anymore because it's too hard doing that and running my gym. Now I would give up my gym before I'd give up Beachbody, because Beachbody has brought me the most amazing joy and relationships that I can take anywhere. I can work anywhere with anyone I choose. You get to choose who you work with, who you surround yourself with, and it's such an amazing thing. So that's a little bit about my story. I have so many other things I could share with you, but we'll leave it at that for tonight. So the last thing I want to go over with you guys tonight is a little bit about what Beachbody is and what it isn't. Beachbody is not a get-rich-quick thing. There's lots of things you can sell out there today, lots of direct marketing programs, lots of at-home parties, and all of this stuff. But there's a lot of things that will offer you quick incentives and quick money. But if you're here for quick money, I might as well just tell you now, just go ahead and walk out the door. I'd love to still help you with your fitness and nutrition, but this isn't quick money. This is, let's feel awesome. Let's help other people feel awesome. Let's get paid for it. Really cool. And if you decide to filter all your energy and passion into that, there are amazing income opportunities, but they don't grow overnight. So what you should know about Beachbody is they're a highly reputable company. They're featured on infomercials, I'm sure you've seen, in magazines and the media, used by celebrities, and their products are top-notch. You get 25% commission on any sale through your site as a Beachbody coach if you choose to become a coach. Even if nothing is ever bought or sold from you, you still get a 25% discount on all your products yourself. There's no pressure to make a sale, to increase in rank, or build a team. You are welcome to just use this opportunity for an amazing discount and to hang out with girlfriends. That's totally acceptable. You're your own boss when you choose to be a Beachbody coach, and you can change your mind at any point in time about how much or how little you want to work this business. We're paid, like I said, in 25% commission, but you can also make a team cycle bonus, which is how you earn residual income through the company should you choose to build a team like I have and like a lot of these coaches have as well. You get first access to all new programs and products that are released. There's so many training events and opportunities through this. You will not lack the ability to succeed if you have the desire for it. There's no need to have home parties unless you want to do that. You don't have to keep any inventory or anything like that. Beachbody takes care of its own shipping, customer service, and all of that fun stuff. You have a huge support system, not only with the people that are on this call, but the hundreds of other coaches on our team that just love to lift up women, help train them, and support them in all of their goals, both in their fitness and in their business. To start up this opportunity, it's only $39.95. If you choose to enroll with a challenge pack, meaning Shakeology and a fitness program, that fee is waived. And if you've already purchased Shakeology and a fitness program, you can get that fee completely reimbursed to you within 2 to 3 business days of signing up. The only other fee past that is $15.95 a month, which is your coach business service fee. And if you didn't know how it's cheaper, basically as a coach, it's $97.49 for your Shakeology versus $130. So if you add $97.49 and your $15.95, you still save $17 a month on your Shakeology if you never sell a darn thing in this business, and you get to enjoy all the perks of being a coach still. But you do have an amazing income opportunity and business opportunity should you choose to go that route with it. So that is all I have for you tonight. That is what it is. Being a Beachbody coach is, being one of these amazing women that just want to inspire people and lift them up. If you have any questions, please feel free to type them in the chat bar or wave at me and I'll unmute you. I'd be happy to do so. But get in contact with the coach that invited you to this call and make sure you talk to them about if this is right for you. Thanks so much for joining us, guys. Have a great night. Bye-bye.